Alright, so temple mannerism is the etiquette and respect people have for the Buddhist religion when entering the temple. People usually take off their shoes when entering. They prevent from touching the statues. There is a three count bow to Buddha, bowing to the monks, and wearing clothing that covers the full body. What does reincarnation mean to you?
uh, about I think it is the best the best how to say decision, yeah, that I have made in my own life, yeah, when I decide to become a monk. uh, uh, after graduation at a university, yeah, that as I mentioned before, that I read the Four Noble Truths, the name of the book, and I thought that okay, I can be. There are two ways for me, yeah, to go. One way is I am a a lay person, yes, or I decided to become a Buddhist monk. Yeah, there are two ways, and I finally decided to become a monk. I mean, become a renunciation. Yeah, and uh, because I thought, I think that if you live in a monk environment, it is good for you to practice on the teachings of Buddha in the positive and in the best way. Yes, and you can become a lay person. It's okay, no problem. Yeah, but you have many things outside you need to, yeah, to think. Yeah, but if you stay in the temple, in the monastery, you have a good condition to practice the teachings of the Buddha. Yes, in the best way. Yeah, and that's why I decided to renounce, yeah, to become a Buddhist monk in the temple. And I want to come back at the time of the Buddha. He was born in the, how to say, he was born in a rich family, yeah, in the kingdom, but when he went outside and he saw four things, yeah, a dead man, yeah, an old man, a deity, yes, and a sick man, he finally found that, oh, so life is impermanent. Yeah, that's why he, everything about the abundant materialities in his life didn't satisfy him. I mean, it's not his final choice yet, and he decided to become a Buddhist monk. And we call it this great renunciation, yeah, of the Buddha.
How does Buddhism explain the concept of the soul?
Yeah, the second teachings of the Buddha after his enlightenment is about the Anatta Sutta. It's about non-self Sutta discourse. Yeah, and in this Sutta, the Buddha explained about there are three characteristics of existence. It's about suffering, uh, uh, impermanence, and non-self. Self, we can understood is about soul, yes, in some other religions, yes. And the Buddha, he didn't deny about soul, yes, but he explained that soul of everyone can change, yeah, from negative to positive. It is the I think the difference of the teaching of the Buddha uh, compared to other religion. When we talk about soul, other religions, they just think that, okay, so you was born like this, and you have a soul, and then when you pass away, you can, how to say, you connect to the, you know, in the in the great soul or something like this, yeah, and it didn't change, yeah, it's remain forever. But however, in Buddhism, soul of the Buddha, you can understood that you can transfer from one to another. I mean, that's why motivate you to how to say to transform, yeah, your negative light to positive one. Yes, and I think this is the way that the Buddha explained about the soul. Yes.
What's it like being a Buddhist monk?
You want to talk about the Buddhist monk, the life of Buddhist monk? So normally, we how to say, we have because the different traditions. I mean, different schools of Buddhism, and each and every tradition they have a different way to practice. Yeah, but however, we have the same goal. Yeah, for our spirituality, it's about you can practice anything, meditation, or can you chanting, or working for better society, or like bodhicitta, and everything you can practice. But however, the main purpose is that we how to say we gradually renounce our ego. Yes, our ego, renounce our ego. I mean, reduce until zero. Yeah, our ego, and we have to realize is that life is impermanent. Yes, and when we realize that life is impermanent, we don't attach to them. Yes, and when we don't attach to them, we can, liberate from our suffering. For example, when you want something but you don't get it, so you feel hurtful or something like that. Yeah, but when you think that this is impermanent, our mind is like a monkey. Yeah, so it jumps from one to another, a branch. So we don't attach to them, so we feel free for them. And this is the main purpose that the Buddha wants to teach us. Yeah, and different traditions, they can, depends on their characteristics, depends on their abilities, then they can practice different ways, but the main purpose, as I mentioned, so like this, to liberate on suffering. And that is the true meaning of what we call nirvana in Buddhism. So liberate on suffering, yes.
So what inspired you to become a Buddhist?
Okay, so more than 10 years ago, yeah, the very first time I read a book named The Four Noble Truths, yes, written by His Holiness Dalai Lama, yes, and after reading this book, his inspiration, yeah, touched me a lot, and I decided to become a monk. Yes, in this book, the very important content is about the Four Noble Truths. That is the very first teaching of the Buddha after his enlightenment. Yeah, it's about suffering, the cause of suffering, the cessation of suffering, and the path leading to the cessation of suffering. Yes, and when although I am mature at that time, but it's not too far. But but I I saw many things in my secular life with my secular family, my father, my mother, yeah, and my friends in active daily activity, yeah, and I saw what the Buddha taught in about the Four Noble Truths is correct. Yeah, and it is inspired me to decide to become a monk. Yes.
You said that you learned Buddhism kind of after college, right?
Yeah.
Was Buddhism something in your family before? Was your family Buddhist?
My family affect me a lot because my mother is a Buddhist. Yeah. When I was born, she started how to say using vegetarian, becoming vegetarian. Yes, and when I was born, yeah, she decided to become a lay Buddhist. I don't know, but I think it's a kind of the deity. Yeah, it is the missionary. Okay, so and sh- when I was a child, she took me to from one temple to another many times. Yeah, and I think it's affect me a lot about the I listen to chanting every day. Yes, because she took me to the temple every day. Yes, and I think it affect me, but I think only when I'm mature, I read the book, yeah, as I mentioned, the Four Noble Truths, yeah, written by Dalai Lama, and I decided to become a monk. Yeah, I think this is the most key that affect me, yeah, to decide to become a monk. Yes. Mhm.
Yeah. All right.
Hi, I'm Kwon, and what I expected to see at the temple was a lot of people there and lots of statues and symbols. After our time at the temple, I was surprised to see not too many people there. That was probably because it was early morning, also because a lot of people come to the temple individually on their own schedule to worship in their own times, and that's very common. There were a lot of symbols and statues of deities that were surrounded with offerings of food and flowers. Overall, I feel like my expectations of the experience matched, but I also learned a lot of new things while I was there. Some things that stuck out to me was the bowing ritual. I learned that we were supposed to bow 3 times in front of Buddha, and the 3 bows represent refuge in Buddha, the teacher, and in Dharma, or teachings. My main takeaway to experience was seeing how diverse Buddhism could be and understanding that there are sub-religions in Buddhism where they have similar principles but go about them differently.
Hello, my name is Ryan. So before attending the temple service, I expected to see a lot of decorative and materialistic design objects sacred to the Buddhist religion within the temple as well as outside of the temple. I also expected many people within the service to be praying, but for the most part, for the temple we went to, a lot of people can kind of just come in and go when they have the time. So because of this, we were able to kind of explore the temple a little bit and see what it was about. And my experience was mostly what I expected. One thing that I learned is when it comes to raising the right hand to Buddha, um, when you raise the right hand to Buddha, one is seeking protection as well as overcoming their fears. When a person prays to Buddha, it will help them understand Dharma as well as their path to nirvana.
So, what I had expected to see prior to attending the worship service was a full service in which people who practice the religion come in and worship together. It was not. It didn't really match my expectations because, like I said, I expected a full service where at this specific temple, at least, people were able to come and go whenever they needed to visit the temple, and they were able to worship whenever they needed to. What really stood out to me was that their service was very personal to each and every person. So every person who comes for their own reasons and is able to do their worship in pretty much their own way. And my main takeaway from the experience was definitely that you gotta, while there are common ideas in a religion, you can worship in your own way while still worshiping together.